I'm good. I'm ready.
The Double Dealing Podcast, where it's always double the pleasure and triple the fun, with your hosts, Dave and Luke.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Oh, it's so good to be back. Guys, this is, let's say, season 2, episode 1 of the Double Dealing Podcast. I am your host, Dave. Let's go around the table, shall we? Joining us, my co-host, down in West by God, Virginia, Luke. How the hell are you, buddy?
Dude, I'm not bad. It's it feels, I feel like it's an out of body experience almost, because to hear Double Dealing Podcast, which was, you know, what we eventually came up with, which I do like, yes. And seeing, I mean, dude, I feel like I want to say a snake shedding its skin, maybe, or I don't know. It's just fucking. It's pretty, or just fucking a fucking, God damn it, what is a caterpillar turned into a butterfly, whatever. I was thinking of, I couldn't remember. I had to think of what the fuck a butterfly was beforehand. It had been a minute, but yes, week's going well for me, brother. New season 2, or episode 106, however you want to keep track, the end of the longest season 1 of all time, but it is fucking good. It's good to be back, and it feels, I don't know. It's still as different as it is. It feels like old times right now that we got it lit up. So absolutely. Yeah, all's well, brother.
Absolutely. Continuing going around the table. Joining us, the Rolling Rogans, Joe and Amy. How are you guys?
Hey, doing awesome, man. This is pretty cool. It's just pretty cool to be into the continuation. I mean, I agree with I'm sorry, I'm just blanking here. Like, just trying to, like.
Well, we kind of put you on the spot anyway, because before we went on, we basically, and I don't know, we've talked a few times leading up to this, but I don't know if we did we. I mean, I don't know if we told them or not, because Dave did tell me that, but we may not have said that we told you, just.
You kind of did. Officially, like, I don't know.
I think we got out of a metal box and checked into the penthouse. That's what
we would get the book on tape in here, but he will opt out of that, as we know. Book on tape voice. Nate's here, everybody. You might not hear him, but he is present and in spirit. But yeah, so right before we went on, and beforehand, David said, you know, anytime, because you two are obviously got a lot going on, and we, obviously we're all part of this team. And when we had this, I don't know when Dave actually told me, but it was just a few episodes ago, just going. And then he said that, you know, he's like, why don't we just, just like it's just like, you know, I forget how he said it. He's like, why don't we just let him stay? We'll just have him stay on and go, because we're going to flow. And Dave, I'll probably anyways myself more than Dave will, because it's just like kind of habit for me at this point. But it's going to be a lot more free flowing. So just, you know, opinions always welcome. And you guys are normally, you're normally here with us anyway. So. Yeah, but we did like literally 5 minutes before we recorded this, I think, Dave. But yeah, so no worries, no worries. Don't worry about drawing a blank. I know what you were doing. You were thinking about what to say. Down. I know. It's all good. It's all good.
We'll pop in and out whenever we can. So
yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, like, you know, it's like Cobra Kai. You guys been waxing on and waxing off for like 105 times, and now
that would be, but now that's technically Miyagi-Do. That's Miyagi-Do karate. If we gotta get tech, just shit.
Eagle Fang.
I do love.
Would you guys believe me? Would you guys believe me if I told you I never saw The Karate Kid?
Not one of them.
You're kidding.
Not even one of them.
God, are you even
I'm
fucking born in the '80s, dude?
Wow.
You are. You don't deserve. You don't.
The late 80s.
You don't deserve to be
Alright,
a geriatric
we're out.
millennial.
Yeah.
God,
Did you see
dude.
The Outsiders? Anything with Ralph Macchio in it?
Yes, no.
You've never
no.
seen the out. Well, I love The Outsiders. Great movie, Joe. But I feel like The Outsiders isn't as popular as it should be. I mean, it's a very popular movie, but I feel like it's also older now. But Dave's
I don't
only
think
you're
I've
only
seen
3
that
years
one.
older than me. Oh,
Well, they
it's
had, like,
fucking Pony Boy
Emilio
shit. Yeah, Patrick Swayze. Yeah,
Patrick
Emilio Estevez,
Swayze.
Charlie.
Yeah.
Ralph Macchio, aka the Karate Kid, Daniel LaRusso. Then there was
Yeah.
Tom Cruise. Fuck, there was a list. There was a list.
Tom Cruise,
There was a list, and I could probably knock off. I'll knock off as many birthdays right now, just fucking randomly. So Patrick Swayze, 1952. Tom Cruise, 1962. Ralph Macchio, 1961. Who else did we say? Fucking
Patrick
Matt
Swayze,
Dillon.
you know?
Matt Dillon was in it, 1963.
Yeah.
Oh,
Emilio
God,
Estevez.
Emilio Estevez, 1962. Charlie Sheen, 1965. So anybody keeping track, you can Google,
I
you can
think
Google
that's
all
the
of
first
those.
time I've heard
I don't
rapid
have-
fire.
I don't have my fact checker here, but it's like, but yeah, that was rapid fire. That's crazy.
I figured I'd have to
But-
step that up a notch because season 1 that was revealed, and it just felt like I've always said I wanted to answer shit fast because I never wanted to, people could just think I was looking it up. But I figure rapid fire might be a whole new level. I don't know if I could do that many. There's a lot of good.
That's
There's a
dope.
lot of good fucking. There's a lot of good fucking movie characters or actors in that movie. It's fucking star-studded, but
Yeah. So season 1, 105 episodes. We're done. But before we get into that, I got to give a huge shout out to my buddy Rob. Robbie came up with the design, the logo for the Double Dealing podcast. Huge shout out to him. Guys, if you would like to, you could find him on Instagram, and his name is Shiskarab on Instagram. SHISKAROB. Yeah, so go and check him out. I mean, he does some great graphic design work for sure. So huge shout out to Robbie. Also, huge shout out to the Patreons. I don't have names yet, but there is still quite a few of you that have stuck around for us and are continuing to support us in this journey. And as we've said before, we can't thank you guys enough. I really wasn't expecting anybody to stick around.
that was
But,
fucking awesome. Awesome. For
But yeah, you
everybody.
guys are fucking amazing. And we completely redid the whole Patreon stuff. We're going to get you guys great content. So be prepared for that one. Be on the lookout for that one. Keep close to your Patreon page so you can get updated and all that stuff. So
Yeah, and to all the current Patreons, like I said to Dave, you all, I think for the one, most of them, I'd say just about everybody was a driver or that I can think of off the top of my head. And
Sounds about right.
we had slacked on putting out extra stuff, and I told Dave, I said, the people that stuck around and everybody, and even the prior people, the people that were there for a long time and decided not, everybody, they, I feel like they may have understood, but it still wasn't fair. We slacked on that, and we, if you would even want, I don't think most would even want an apology, but I'll still say sorry for that. And we do have some ideas on some extra shit that will be start to after, actually as soon as this episode. So yeah, we can, like Dave said, Low Tech Tommy did none of that. He redid everything. and all the stuff you're looking at, obviously that was nothing that I did, but I'll just, so I can't take credit. I'll say, I'll act on it like I know, and then I'll just ask Dave to do it. Yeah, Patreon is redone, and it'll be way more content. We still have where, as far as the Tears and Smears videos, I feel like we just have to do. We never did the hottest one, and that we just, if we're going to do one, because we said we might do a couple. I don't know if we had one left that was hotter than the ones we tried, but if we do, we may as well just save those last two. A couple Tears and Smears videos and try to, because I don't know, that hot one's just sitting on my stove. And my stove, my stovetop's black, and that bottle, that certified bottle is fucking black with the red fire in it, just staring
at you.
And I've wanted to try it so bad, but I'm like, I'm not, because we'll end up fucking doing something with it eventually. And yeah, so stay tuned for that as well. For the Patreons, yes. You'll enjoy that, because I'm sure that motherfucker's hot.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. So yeah, so huge shout out to all you guys. Thank you again so much for sticking around with us and wanting to support us. It's fucking amazing. So with the start of this show, we really wanted to cut ties with all in the delivery in general, and kind of just cut it and leave it in the past now.
But everybody all of the fucking good times that we had, and the relationships that we still have with the people, that the past guests that we had on, and just listeners in general, none of that. Like, I always cut ties. Definitely, I don't know if I like that term as much, because I do fucking, it'll always be, I mean, we'll get the logo changed, but in our Riverside studio, it's still above us right now, so it's literally staring us in the face. But it'll always be a part of us, and it's always, the past is fucking there, it's not going to be forgotten. There's still plenty of content for any new listeners. I still would encourage, to start. Most people start from the beginning, and I don't know how many times I've said in the past that just brace yourself for that first episode, because we were not very, and
we were not seasoned.
We were all inexperienced. And I've said it for any new listeners that wouldn't know this. I was literally in my living room with the TV on, my loud ass dogs, and my wife was on the phone talking to her best friend Tia. She was just one of them conversations when they're on the phone for an hour and a half. So I literally, there's so much that's how inexperienced I fucking was. I literally was like, where is the absolute worst fucking place I can set this up at and podcast? And I did it right in the fucking living room. I mean, the only
I'm pretty sure you had football on or something going on in the background.
The TV was on. I probably bet on the game. I was probably half paying attention watching the fucking score.
Or it was basketball. It was definitely one of those two.
I can't. Yeah, it wasn't football, because it was pandemic. Football was done. It must have been. I don't know. There wasn't any sports on, I don't think.
You were probably watching Cobra Kai or the Karate Kid.
Nah, I don't. Not in the living room. Well, yeah, I don't know. That's where the PlayStation's at. That's where.
But anyways,
yeah. See, there we go. There's an old time. There's an old time. Anyways, for old. On the delivery's sake. But no, I think when you say when we've said in the past that we've had we could fucking do a documentary on the delivery with everything, all the good, everything far out fucking ways any negative. But to say a final word, to finally just put it to bed and leave it be. I said before in the past, like we were saying, see, if you start from episode 1 of season 1 of All in the Delivery, you'll hear 4 people. And I, when we did the episode where we were kind of doing the backstory of everything, I didn't want, and I really still don't want to I don't like to fucking badger anybody when they're not fucking present to speak for themselves. But, there was just a thing. It was just kind of after that episode, I've spoke with Bobby, sometimes over, it's been fucking well over a year and a half since, he was with us, and him and Dave have not spoke. And we, after that episode was released, fuck, it feels like I'm almost 38 years old and I'm talking like this. The podcast page got blocked, so I figured, that might have been that. But there's one thing that I want to fucking say for clarity for everybody, and myself being somebody that has always prided himself on being as real as it gets. What you see is what you get.
Absolutely.
It's going to sound probably so ridiculous because we never really got we never had a full conversation with it. But what had happened, because after that episode was released, there was a few times, a handful of times, probably, like you'd say a handful, 3 or 4 times that, there's a narrative that, and we always took the high road. We never wanted to say, because nothing was ever said. But there was like this narrative out there that, we were trying to get in on ups and browns and, try to get into that to take, I don't want to say take money from it, but I'm assuming be a part of it, but not kind of get our way in, whatever. Like we were taking money from ups and browns. There's a narrative out there. I'm not saying it was spoken a bunch that we know of, but we'd heard it, and always kind of, I just want to say this. When we started this thing, there was 4 of us, and we all said that if we fucking, we had the idea, I was the last one in, so it wasn't fucking my idea, but I was with it too, that if we went with a podcast and delivery related, there wasn't really anything out there with downloads and everything, yada, 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 that it had the potential to, possibly, get to be at another level. And I think that, God, and that was the idea. And so obviously anybody that knew us delivery wise, obviously would know us probably because of Bobby, or they definitely knew who Bobby was. So there was ups and browns, and we had started some merchandise with the podcast, with All in the Delivery. Dave and I, we asked if we wanted to, so it was set up, Bobby had it all set up because he had ups and browns. And we had asked if he wanted us to give him some money for that, or split it separately. We just kept it with ups and browns, just like a handshake agreement. And so it basically is fucking, as far as we know, because we never got the final clarity. I'll keep repeating that. I've spoke with Bobby. I've said the door's open. He's told me in the past that he would be willing to talk. I mean, I'm not expecting him to come on here, but just to say it with us, because like I said, what you see is what you get. And I'm not one to ever be called a fucking liar. And I'm not saying that he called me that, but I'm saying my fucking word's my bond. And we were going to, so basically what had happened, my friend David here has a tendency sometimes to bull rush when he sees something he doesn't agree with. And I think you would agree with me on that. But
Rightfully so.
we had seen, there was a couple posts that were, we saw some posts that people tagged the podcast in that, had ups and browns shirts and stuff. And not a big deal. Not a big deal. Because we were just, all it was basically saying was Dave, and like I said, however his delivery may have been, basically brought up, that of people, brought up a couple posts of people tagging the podcast and suggested like
Doing basic
like a
business.
promo code. And I don't know if it was the way it was delivered. When we had offered to split this, Dave and I said we would pay for it because Bobby had ups and browns. He was paying for that. If we split it, we said we would take care. We would pay for all that. When I say all that, it wasn't much. And these fucking posts, like I said, amount to nothing. A few bucks. You know what I mean? Nothing that. So basically, he left. And hold on, let me finish on this, and then I'll let you can say what you want to, because he left, and I called the next day, and I asked him if splitting the Shopify, if it was simple enough, because I said we had a good thing going, we were doing well, we had 26 episodes in, and we would, I said, if it's as simple as splitting that Shopify, then dude, let's just fucking do it and keep going. And he didn't want to. He didn't really give me another, I don't know the reason. If there's another reason why he left, he can feel free to say it. I never wanted to ever fucking speak bad of Bobby. Bobby was an essential. Bobby basically brought us all together. Everybody that knew, we knew that the podcast, Ups and Browns was bigger. We never thought that we were fucking bringing in people to Ups and Browns. We knew Bobby had 10 times as many followers as fucking Dave and I did. He was well known. We knew anybody that started when we started. He was a big part of that. So there's no fucking shit like that. The merchandise shit, we could have fucking not done it. I would have been fine with that. I probably would have suggested that, but the conversation never fucking happened. And I just wanted to say that if Dave really was really trying to fucking swindle in any fucking slimy way, I would not fucking be here. I wouldn't be podcasting. I wouldn't be fucking, and that's basically it. For me, like I said, the conversation's always good with me, Bobby. I'm never going to say no. The door's always open. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. But, you hear this narrative and it fucking pissed me off. And that's not the fucking case. And I don't it could have been for whatever other reason. I could have understood. Fuck, we might have changed it up. It might have been a podcast that we only did a few times a month, because the more people we have involved, the harder it is to schedule. The pandemic fucking Dave and I do so much shit on the fly that it's almost fucking, I wouldn't say ridiculous, but being drivers to do shit on the fly during the week sometimes, it is fucking a lot to ask. A lot of shit could have been done, but it never got said. And it always was looming. And it just fucking, I always felt like it was an elephant in the room when I talked to him. But he doesn't, with Dave or Joe and Amy, it just, I don't understand it, but I'll leave it at that. And Dave, you can say whatever you want to about it, and then we can move on.
Yeah, I'll make it short and sweet. I mean, the narrative was greedy individuals. That was the term. Is Luke and I are greedy individuals, I guess. What happened? Excuse me. What happened was, when you start seeing, basically the podcast is a business, and when you start seeing your business getting recognized with another business because you're promoting that other business for free, it was time to do basic business together as like a partnership. And that was the whole goal for Ups and Browns and the podcast. And it was to say, like at the end, when somebody hits like, pay and checkout, you can select, how did you hear about us? You can add something like that to your website. Like, how did you hear about us? Have a little drop down menu, have it be social media, have it be the podcast, and if somebody selects the podcast, then the podcast would get 10, 15%, whatever percentage of a sale, and then that is basic business. Like, that is working with a partnership. If you're promoting them, that's, I would say, basic business 101. Like, that is like the simplest thing like it could possibly be. And like Luke said, instead of talking about it, Bobby just turned away and ran. And, we still don't know the exact reason why he even left, honestly. And I mean, I'll be honest, starting the podcast with him, doing however many episodes, 20 something it was that he was a part of. And around the time when he left, my second child was born. And I will say, 'cause, being friends and all that, talking on the phone, like we always talked about, like every day, like all of us would talk on the phone. And then, my second child's born, he quits. I get it, like he didn't want to do it anymore, whatever. I don't have any hard feelings towards him. But on the other hand, when like, being a friend like that and talking every day on the phone, you think your friendship is close. And then when he left, I never heard anything. Like, he knew I was expecting my second kid. I was maybe expecting hey man, how's the family? How's this? Never heard anything. And honestly, that hurt. That hurt. And so there was, all that aside, there was a lot of fucking drama with All in the Delivery. And this is one of the reasons why we wanted to change the name, because we wanted to cut it, throw it behind us now. That part of the paper, part of the ribbon, it's torn, it's fucking flipped now, and we can move on.
And not all.
And I believe our pieces are set.
Yeah, not all of that drama is from. There's a lot more than just what came from that.
There's
like,
a lot more.
Not even from him. I'll just say that I'm not fucking. More. Like I said, Dave said it. They haven't spoken.
One last thing.
What's that?
One last thing, and I'm just gonna fucking throw the kid under the bus because it happened, and unfortunately, I do not have the voice memos anymore from it because I deleted my Instagram account. But Mr. Courtney Muse degraded me, like degraded me and my creativity and everything that happened. And you, sir, are a little fucking punk. All right? You are a little fucking punk, and I need to get that off my chest. And I want everybody to fucking know about what kind of fucking person he really is, because that is absolute bullshit. To degrade somebody like that, dude, Like, you're a little bitch. Like, fuck off. Seriously. And that's my piece with that. So we can move on. There's going to be no bullshit. Like Luke said in his Instagram post earlier this week, there's going to be no bullshit with this new podcast. So we're laying it all out on the table for you guys. And that's that.
And he did exactly what I told him not to do with fucking off, but you had to get that off your chest. I understand.
I think a lot of this had to get off our chest. Like,
well,
time to let it go now. It's gone.
It is. I never had any. I never. Courtney and I didn't really speak,
yes,
so I don't have any fucking beef with Courtney at all. But I do.
That's
yes,
fine. But like,
him and I are fine.
Sure. Yes, I may cause problems. Okay, I may be a problem causer, but I do it when it's needed. That is the one thing. If you're, whatever the case is, if I just stand up for what's right. That's it. And I will stand up for people, and I will let people know about what kind of, like, especially if you degrade me, if you call me a name or something like that. Like, I'm standing up for myself. Like, that's that. That's how I was raised, and that's that. So,
well,
I want to chime in here for a second.
Okay.
Go ahead, Amy.
We came in, I think, probably about 2 episodes before Bobby quit. And we came in as your graphic artists and helping things like that. And we were just in the background, and we even got blocked from him. And it just didn't make sense. We would not be here with you guys if you were greedy and all those things. So I just wanted to throw that in there, a little support for you, because you aren't what we've heard from them either. So
thank you.
I appreciate that. And like I said, I wasn't that shit he just said with Courtney. That was some, like, that when we said, other drama. There's another sneak peek that I didn't know he was going to throw in there, but what a way to finally, I mean, I feel like I had a few people call me, after that because they were like, you can never really sound like, dude, really, it's going to sound so fucking, it's just never, that's why communication is fucking, even if it's not fucking positive sometimes, if it's confrontational, it doesn't have to be fucking confrontational. One, it's like, I don't know. You could get into that shit so much, but it's just like, I don't have any, there's nobody I've met in the cardboard community, including Bobby. And I mean, like I said, Courtney and I have no beef. I got no problem with Courtney. I know you and him had your fucking shit. Bobby, like I said,
I never even said anything bad about the guy, and he came after me, like, uncalled for. Like, I never really said anything bad about anybody. I use the term bog. Okay. How silly that fucking sounds.
I know.
My God.
I know.
And then I get attacked. Like, no, bud. No. So yes, there is a lot of drama. A lot. And like Luke said, when he said about there could be a fucking documentary about it all. Oh boy, there could.
And I want to also just throw in one more thing that, he did when the time when he was on the podcast, he was paying for, the merchandise stuff because it was on Ups and Browns. But just to reiterate one more time, we did fucking, we offered to fucking split that. And I don't know if I'll fucking, I would like to I still hope we still get to have this fucking conversation. I'm sure that probably isn't going to fucking look in a positive way. But like I said, he's done a lot of fucking good in the cardboard community. Anybody I met you because of him. I met fucking Joe and Amy because of him. I met fucking every fucking buddy, he's done plenty of good. He's not a bad dude. People, that's why we wanted to take the high road on this shit, because it sounds fucking ridiculous, but that's the fucking way that shit went down. But I never wanted anybody to think like it's like don't try to draw a line and pick sides here because fuck, that's fucking stupid. Bobby still does a lot of good, but we were talking like Dave said, it was every day podcasting like we were, and at that point it was pandemic time, so we weren't fucking, we sometimes we would podcast Friday and Saturday night. And but yeah, I feel like that was always going to loom. And however, moving forward, I don't know, however he would want to answer that, that's up to him. But I'll say that everything with that Shopify shit, as dumb as it sounds, as far as I know, that's fucking, if there's anything else, you'd have to ask him. But to bed on that note, but to think of all the good and just, I want to fucking go back in the right way, because when we did start, and it still is to try to unite people, we're not going to center it around delivering like we said, but there's still going to be content that you'll hear. And I had something that I wanted to fucking say that I heard with a guy on my neighboring route, and if he listens to this, or anybody at my center listens, they'll know who it is. And he can be a shit stirrer at times, and he would agree with that. He got a ticket. One of his friends got him a ticket to the Tampa Bay Pittsburgh Steelers game this past Sunday, and lo and behold, so I'll say we're about 2 hours south of Pittsburgh, completely different state. They sit beside each other. He sits beside this guy that is a 17-year UPS driver, and they just start fucking. I guess he's probably more like my boy on the neighboring route, and they were just fucking griping about Orion and all this other shit. And he was saying that this dude's wife was just sitting there rolling her eyes because she probably hears that fucking Monday through Friday. It has to find of all people to sit beside in that entire stadium would be another fucking and they were looking, just talking about dispatching and shit, just fucking having a grand old time. And then Tom Brady lost, and my Bucks are not looking fucking good right now, dude. He's bitching at the O-line, and he's not coming to Saturday walkthroughs because Robert Kraft, who is the owner of the New England Patriots, got married. Like, dude, I'm not liking the way this season's fucking steering. I think this shit with Giselle is fucking with his head, and he's 45 years old, and I think he's checked out, dude. I hope the fuck I'm wrong, and I've been wrong so many times, which is kind of funny because we're going to introduce a fucking betting segment at the end of this. And I'm talking about how many times I've been wrong betting on stuff. That's why these will be for free. Do with them what you will, but we'll get to that later.
That'll be upcoming episodes.
Oh, we're not going to do that tonight?
Yes. Nah.
Okay.
Tonight. Let this be the intro.
Oh, fuck, man. I'll tell you. I was wondering, I was curious how you would come out fucking on this. And I don't know what kind of response. I don't know overall how it'll be, but that's about, like I said, Dave and Courtney, they can have, that's their own shit. I'm not a part of that. But fucking, however the response may be, I'm not, like I said, I'm not asking anybody. He's done plenty of fucking good, and I'm not talking shit on the guy, but that's what the fuck happened. And we really don't have any clarity, but there wasn't any fucking tomfoolery going on. We weren't trying to fucking do any of that shit, but fuck, man. Nope. I can't believe this is season 2 and this is how it's fucking starting. Talk about fucking whammying it. I'll just say you're not going to hear juicy fucking gossip like that anymore personally. You might hear
No.
some fucking but that's kind of how the attitude's going to be with it, and it's going to be topics are it's still going to be a comedic podcast. I don't know, this probably wasn't as comedic as other episodes, but it's also going to have, when there's shit coming up, one thing we can say, when there's something, how we did in the past with getting the big picture, that is, that to at least give some type of format with it, when something comes up, rather it be controversial, rather it be, just something that has gone fucking ridiculously viral that people are laughing at, rather it's making people laugh, whether rather it's whatever, you'll get some episodes like that, and it's going to be, I would say it's going to be opinionated, but it's nothing fucking,
it may be a little controversial.
it's not going to be it's nothing, ain't going to be nothing fucking personal. One thing I've always prided myself on is the ability to listen, and that's all that. That's something that's a lost art anymore this day and age. Is people got to listen and be able to talk.
And let me tell you something. I got 2 words for you: made in America.
Dude. Here, look at Joe Rogan down here. Joe Rogan predicting the future of whatever episode that was, like episode 90.
Oh my
fucking
God.
4.
That was incredible.
Yes, it was.
Let's talk about this real quick.
Yeah, let's
actually.
fucking talk about it.
When
Let's close with this.
Yes, Joe, when you made the album artwork of the picture of Joe Biden falling off a bike, and then literally like 3 days later, not even maybe, I don't even know how long it was. It was under a week, and next thing you know, there's video evidence of Joe Biden falling off a bike. It was unreal. That was
just a combination of 2 stories you guys had talked about, and you put it together. And
this shit scares me sometimes that I can
like
do this.
the FBI should be after you right now.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. Joe Biden was a big part of this podcast, right? Like he had the fucking bike, dude. He had tripping up Air Force One twice.
Yeah, when he first.
When he did it, dude, and it couldn't have been that. All right, I could keep rambling, but it couldn't. Well, sorry. Go ahead.
Fine.
Go ahead.
I gotta just shut my mouth and stop putting images down or even talking, because like it manifests and this shit happens. Like we were doing our TV show and like our first episode, and we had to, like, after recording it all and looking back at it, the reason Amy got bit by a raccoon is because like I blurbed it out in the video before it even happened.
That's not the reason.
I would just say it is, like, yeah. So,
but when I was putting all the clips and the videos together, we had recorded footage prior to getting to the campground where I did get bit by the raccoon. And when I was putting everything together, I was listening to the footage of that prior footage. Mm-hmm. And I paused. We both looked at each other. We're like, holy shit. You
like,
just said.
You want to be careful because you never know. There could be some rabid, like something rabid out.
No.
I'm not.
And then literally the next day.
Yeah.
But we didn't know that. I didn't remember him saying it.
So, like, be careful what you speak, man.
Oh, dude, you just manifested it. That's incredible.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, honey.
You're really good at manifesting things, Joe.
Yes, he is.
So, Joe, can you manifest the fact that whenever Luke and I talk about betting, that it's going to hit every single time?
Hell yeah.
I need you to manifest that.
If he draws it, yeah.
Dude, man. But
let's go.
What I was saying with Joe Biden tripping up the steps the first time, we couldn't have had a better fucking guest on, because Alex Lane, he had no fucking press after the election. So what's that tell you? That's kind of fucking funny.
Right.
Like, God,
Alex Lane over there in the UK.
But no press at all. So he was asking what's going on in America, and that literally had just fucking happened.
Just happened.
God.
A president tripped up the stairs.
Like there they were with Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip being fucking what the fuck was Prince Philip's title? He wasn't king, obviously. Was he just the king consort? How does that go? What?
It's something,
Yeah, I
it's
think it's
something
a
like
king
that.
Okay,
consort.
so you got the queen and the king consort that at that time, had been around for 60 some years, and they're just looking over at us, just acting like fucking fools over these two dudes that are, I mean, that are going to be around for fucking 8 years tops. Well, I guess if Joe may, I guess if Trump would have won, then this would have been his last term. But Joe has one more, but who knows? Who knows? But God, yeah, what an episode, what a guest to have on as somebody from the UK overseas that had no idea of anything, what was going on, but asking if it was still.
Yeah, I literally asked what's going on in America. It's incredible.
I know, fucking awesome. Love that guy. And we have talked about having him back on. That's one thing we're going to try to. We're going to get on new guests too, obviously, but we're going to try to bring back some past guests as well, and
Of course.
Probably shoot the shit with some work stories, but it would be more of like kind of this episode really wasn't so much. This was showing how how it's gonna we're not gonna fucking hold back, but we're gonna fucking speak our minds on stuff, but it'll be they'll be like I've said in the past it would be we're not going to be talking about delivery, but it's two delivery drivers on a podcast, so the content's still going to be there.
It's gonna
be
absolutely.
So if we would have past guests on, it would just be I just top of my head, let's just say Fernando. Say we had Fernando on, and it would just be whatever topic we're talking about. We wouldn't go back to. I love talking to he's probably one of the only people I like talking to baseball about. I mean, I'm not a big baseball guy, but I could talk fucking baseball with Fernando. But
yeah, man. So, but yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up for the very first episode, bud.
Holy fucking shit! I knew this was going to be a fucking like I said, however people want to fucking take it as you will. We love everybody, and we don't fucking. I mean, well, I guess you don't have too much love for Courtney. I should probably not mention him, but anyways, goddamn, here we are.
It's off the chest, and let me tell you something. I feel like 20 pounds lighter now. So
next episode preview. Actually, we could actually preview that because it's going to be released on Halloween, so you can do the math. But anyways.
we're gonna have some Halloween stories to tell for sure. So, thank you guys, Joe, Amy, Nate, Tony. I think that's Tony over there. Luke, everybody. We're back. We're excited to be back. We're excited to get more content, more episodes out for you guys. We've missed you. And yeah, listen, here's to the next chapter here with podcasting. So we will see you guys next week.
Later, everybody.